this is the amount I have consumed under 3 months. This is the amount I have used under 3 months. End of this thing now. These things are like, it's up to 10. In less than 3 months, I've used like 10 of these. This brand I used to buy before, I stopped buying it because it's expensive now. I stopped buying it because it's expensive now. This thing is like clocking 10k plus now. I went down to a reliant. I went to price this thing. They're telling me 8k 75. 8k 75. I bought this thing last 4,500 was the amount I bought this thing the last time. And they're telling me this thing is 75 8k. The reason I left this one now, when they touch this one, this thing now has gone so high, I cannot even afford it. It's not even, before I don't used to think about buying, I used to just buy it anyhow. In the kitchen I will have one, upstairs I will have one, in my bag I have house one and outing one. Now I can only afford to buy one. I can only afford to buy only just one. This thing now is now so fucking expensive. Under 3 months I have used like 10 of these. This thing now here now is like 100k plus, everything here now.
Wow, so it has gotten to this level. So it has gotten to the level that Nigerians can no longer afford medical or health care in Nigeria again. This is very sad, very painful that as a Nigerian we can no longer afford health care again in this country again. You know, when GSK, when pharmaceuticals, when P&G were leaving the shores of Nigeria, so many people were saying they should go, we can afford to stay without them. So many people were supporting them. Peter Obi came out and said this is very painful, that it will affect Nigeria. We thought it was a mere joke. We thought it is a political statement that Peter Obi was trying to gain political popularity. We never knew that what Peter Obi was saying was true. He came out to say that we should not allow pharmaceuticals to leave the shores of this country, that we should do everything humanly possible to see that these pharmaceuticals should not leave the shores of Nigeria. You know, remember that these pharmaceuticals complained about the ease of doing business in Nigeria. They say that everything has skyrocketed, that it is no longer easy for them to do business here in Nigeria, that the government should support them, that the government should make business very easy for them so that they can stay. But nobody listened to them, because our government, it is not their business. If they are sick, common headache, including their children, if they are sick, the next thing you will see is that they will take them, they will look for the available flights to the United Kingdom, to Germany, to US and so on, India. They will take them there just to receive treatment on headache, malaria and so on. But look at us. We can no longer afford common paracetamol, Panadol, talk less of inhaler for asthma. What a nation. Look at the way our doctors, our nurses are leaving the shores of this country in droves every day. I saw one of the government officials the other day saying that they should go. If they go, another one can come. Go to general hospitals across Nigeria today. Take a head count. Tell me how many ENT doctors in our general hospitals across Nigeria today. I bet you will hardly see them. Go to Abuja, the FCT, Federal Capital Territory. Check how many ENT doctors you have there. You hardly see them. Most of them have left the shores of Nigeria to search for a greener pasture. And our leaders, they are happy with that, because whenever they are sick, they will rush them. They will take them outside the shores of this country to receive best of treatments from these Nigeria doctors who left the shores of Nigeria to search for a greener pasture abroad. Just the other day, Saudi Arabia came looking for doctors here in Nigeria. You could imagine that. The way doctors, nurses are leaving the shores of this country, that is the way pharmaceuticals are also leaving the shores of this country, because the ease of doing business in Nigeria is no longer there. Because to do business in Nigeria today, na wahala. Just look at what this lady is passing through. In the space of according to her, I think a month, she has spent almost 100,000 on asthma inhaler. What type of country is this? And if you talk, somebody will say you should not talk. If you call out the government and Tinubu, somebody out there will say you should not talk, you should die in silence. What type of country is this? When are we going to get things right in this country? According to reports, the budget of Asolok Clinic is more than the budget of all the general hospitals in Abuja. But the same Asolok Clinic, if you go there, you may not find syringe. You may not get paracetamol and Panadol at the Asolok Clinic. This is why I respect a P2B. When P&G, when GSK and so on were leaving the shores of this country, P2B was crying, shouting high heaven. We should do everything humanly possible to make sure that these pharmaceuticals do not leave the shores of this country. But nobody listened to Mr. P2B. And this is why I will always respect a P2B anytime, any day. When he was the executive governor of Anambra State, he capitalized on human development projects, education and health care. When P2B was the governor, he revamped all the schools of nursing in Anambra State, all the health centers in Anambra State. And you saw how they gained accreditation. You saw how he elevated all the hospitals in Anambra State. This is why we must go for a P2B come 2027. He never stopped in Anambra State. He is now traveling across the nation, across Nigeria. He has visited so many schools of nursing across Nigeria today, and he never failed to make donation. He never failed to make monetary donation in any school of nursing that he visited. This is why we must support him come 2027. Let me use this wonderful opportunity to call upon the presidency. You should do everything humanly possible to make sure that no more pharmaceutical company will leave the shores of this country, because just GSK, P&G, and I think Unilever left the shores of this country. We can no longer buy drugs again. May God help us. So
this is the amount I have consumed under 3 months. This is the amount I have used under 3 months. Some of this thing now, these things are like, it's up to 10. In less than 3 months, I've used like 10 of these. This brand I used to buy before, I stopped buying it because it's expensive now. I stopped buying it because it's expensive now. This thing is like clocking 10k plus now. I went down to a reliant. I went to price this thing. They're telling me 8k 75. 8k 75. I bought this thing last 4,500 was the amount I bought this thing the last time. And they're telling me this thing is 758k. The reason I left this one now, you can't they touch this one. This thing now has gone so high, I cannot even afford it. It's not even, before I don't used to think about buying, I used to just buy it anyhow. In the kitchen I will have one, upstairs I will have one, in my bag I have house one and outing one. Now I can only afford to buy one. I can only afford to buy only just one. This thing now is now so fucking expensive. Under 3 months I have used like 10 of these. This thing now here now is like 100k plus, everything here now. Under 3 months. This thing that used to be 800 before has gotten to 10k plus. Nigerian government, people, please, people should pity this brand, this Ventolin brand. I left this brand and went down to this Aeroline. Now this Aeroline now come the drag price with Ventolin. Aeroline now come the clock 758k. This one now I don't even know how much this one be, because I don't even have the mind to go and price this one that I even usually use. This one that I downgraded to is now expensive. Where I'll see money to buy the next one, I don't know. By the grace of God. Nigerian government, I beg. I don't even know how this thing just became so expensive like this. I cannot even afford this one. This is my own. I cannot even afford this thing. Lord of Jesus.